We're going to go over the down dog or downward dog. Really common position that we see and often done in a way that can create issues if not in the most optimal alignment. So we just want to go over some of the cues, give you guys an idea of how we can make this position a little bit better. So the downward dog is where we make the plank position turn into that kind of TP position. So Fausto's going to demonstrate here. We're going to go from quadruped to a high plank. He comes up into our push-up position, and then from there he just pushes his hips up and back into the sky while adding a little bit of a soft bend in his knee here. Now the goal of our downward dog is to maintain that beautiful arch through the spine, nice neutral spine. So what we want to focus on, and you can see here with Fausto, is we've got a little bit extra in the middle of the back and not quite enough in the low part of the back to make that nice straight curve. So what do we do in this adjustment? All we do is bend the knees a little bit more and then work on tilting that pelvis forward and arching that low back. Other way. Yeah, there we go. Come from right here. Pull that belly button up and into the body. There we go. Now you can see, and then push your sternum away a little bit more. There we go. Now we can see that kind of nice ski slope position here. So he's making a nice straight line from wrists through elbows, shoulders, and hips. He's not letting this middle part of the spine collapse, and he's keeping the belly button pulled in. Look at that beautiful pull in of the abdominal there. That's going to help him to create that pelvic tilt. And then all you have to do is bend the knees a little bit more to create that nice arch in the spine. So if you want to create more of a stretch through the hamstring, all you have to do is push the kneecaps back and work the heels to the floor, if you guys can see that over here. But if you're having any kind of hamstring or low back mobility issues, then you just bend the knees, take that little bit of stress out of the movement, and then really work on the spinal mechanics. If you can arch that low back and press the armpits down and away, you'll be able to really work on getting a nice position for the spine without having your shoulder blades collapse down and have any kind of excessive extension force on the vertebrae of the middle back. And also, we want to make sure here that we're lifting our pelvis up to the sky as we continue to improve our position here, because that's what's going to create the link through the top part of the calf, actually really all the way through the heel, and up to the insertion point of the hamstring on the glute. Okay, so we want to get a full push back into hamstring and calf tension to really feel that isometric stretch, and then we come back into our plank position. You can hinge these. He's just going to do a couple from plank to down dog, going back and forth, just so you can kind of work this as a mobility pattern, kind of going back and forth in your warm-ups, or just improving this pattern, getting a little bit more extra work out of it by going back and forth. Lifts and tilts the pelvis to create that link here as he pushes the floor away, and then hinges right back into the plank position. Pelvic still stays tilted. Now we've got nice engagement and upper body stability. So hinge this back and forth until you can get a good 10 reps or so. Then you can start messing around with some extra progressions, but master this position to save the shoulders and open up the hips and the hamstrings.